I'm bigcal and welcome to my world. Today another recent video games pickups video, and I have quite a few. Yay! Lots of cheap games. So let's just get straight into it with some Wii titles. First up we have Showtime Championship Boxing. Yep, it's a motion control boxing game on the Wii, and it's utterly terrible. I didn't even get through a single fight in this, just nothing seemed to be really doing what it was supposed to. I was just throwing punches, and sometimes it would just stand there, sometimes it would duck backwards. It just was not very good. Wii Sports Boxing is better than this. So that was off to a good start. Then we have Wii Music. Yay! I did the incredibly small tutorial at the start that teaches you how each instrument works, and then you have to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on the piano, and I gave up because it was terrible. Yeah, so that's fun, but yeah, I got that for a video I plan on doing in the future. Moving along now, another Wii game, another disappointment. I got this because, again, it was cheap, and I thought, you never know, it might be decent. Mythmaker's Super Kart GP. Oh boy, does this suck. For starters, it's motion controlled, so you hold the Wii Remote sideways and go like that. And yeah, it's sort of responsive, but it just doesn't feel very good. And I don't know if there's any like skid steering, and drifting or anything like that. There is a tutorial mode where it just throws you into a level with new mechanics, and it doesn't even tell you how to drive. It just sort of throws you in. It's like, here's a track, go. And then the next tutorial section is, oh, this one teaches you how to use speed boosts. And by teach, it means, here's a track, go, oh, there's some speed boosts there, do whatever. Yeah, I had a race, and I was doing well at one point, and then, yeah, I just failed. I also don't like how, despite the fact you have to turn the Wii Remote to drive and things, and have it on its side when you're racing, when you're at the menus, you have to hold it normally and point at the screen still. Other games where you have to turn it to control, like say Donkey Kong Country Returns, everything's done with the Wii Remote sideways. You don't have to point at the screen. So yeah, don't do that, people. And then we have another boxing game. This is Facebreaker KO Party from EA. And this one was a little bit better. I only had one fight, but it was somewhat fun. It kind of reminds me of the Ready to Rumble games with the big colourful characters. And it's motion controlled as well as button presses, so you do some combos with the motion, then you press a button to do a bigger punch and things. And it seemed alright, just on first impressions, so that's one that I would like to play a little bit more. There's a few different modes in it. I might end up having some fun with that. Hopefully. Then we have Star Wars The Clone Wars lightsaber duels. Yep, you control your lightsaber with one hand, then you got the other for moving about and for holding to do force powers and things. It isn't too bad. I went through the training. It was fairly simple once you get the hang of it. And then when you go into the story mode, which seems to be based off of the film for the Clone Wars, which came out before the TV show, which introduced Ahsoka Tano to the world, one of my favourite Star Wars characters. Once you get into that and you start fighting, your arm ends up really aching because it takes forever to get the health of your opponent down. Yeah, so it's fun, but I can see it only being played in short bursts, otherwise my arm will fall off. And I think that's the game that also came where you get the plastic lightsaber attachment for the Wii. Maybe one day I'll pick one of those up. I'm sure they're cheap. Okay, and lastly, thankfully for the Wii, is one of the few 18 rated games from Rockstar, and that is Manhunt 2. I think, was this banned in certain countries? Maybe Australia, they seem to ban things like this. Maybe the first Manhunt. But yeah, you're going around, you're in a mental asylum, you're trying to escape, and you're brutally murdering people along the way. Beyond that, I don't really know so far, but one of the things I did like is the disc. When I first opened up the case to check, I thought, oh, for Christ's sake, it's a bloody copied, a DVD. that someone's wrote on. Then I looked a bit closer, like, no, silly me, that's the actual disc. Yeah, it's really cool. It's nice when they put attention to detail into a disc, and even the manual's got some stuff. Yeah, so that was cheap. I've heard mixed things about it, but it is a game I've been wanting to try for a while. And speaking of games I've been wanting to try for a while, on the Nintendo GameCube, finally picked up Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. There we go, get it right. And it's kind of like a Resident Evil style game. You're going around a mansion of your dead granddad, trying to find clues as to how he died. While you don't have the Resident Evil tank controls, you got the fixed camera angle, you got investigating items and things within a room, solving puzzles. But instead of your zombies and things like that to scare you, you have your mental scares basically. And everyone's seen videos by now of all the different things it does, where it turns the volume up and down on your TV, or it turns it off. Obviously some of those things aren't really going to work on modern TVs, because that's not how things look anymore, and everybody kind of knows what to expect now. But it is a game I've been wanting to try out for a bit, so I'm glad to pick it up, and I'm glad that I got it for the price I did. £15 in sex of all places, complete in box. So happy it came with a manual as well, and it shot up to about £20 usually on eBay and places like that, so I'm happy I got it cheap. Okay, next, some Nintendo DS games. First is Bomberman Land Touch. I'm a fan of the Bomberman games, but I don't think I actually own any now outside of this. I have the Wario Blast, which is technically Bomberman but with Wario on the original Game Boy. But I don't own any others. So I picked this one because it was nice and cheap. I've heard actually pretty good things about it. It seems to have sort of like an adventure mode with lots of mini games, as well as your regular Bomberman style levels. I've only played a little bit of it so far. Yeah, so looks to be kind of fun. Really looking forward to playing that through, to be honest. Another Star Wars Clone Wars game, and it is Jedi Alliance. Played very little of this, to be honest. It didn't seem to control very well, because it does use the touch screen a lot. Yeah. But yeah, there it is, another Star Wars game. I like collecting Star Wars games. I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars show, so it goes hand in hand that I will collect those. Another Star Wars game now, Lethal Alliance. I already own this on the PSP, but now I also have it on the DS, and you play as Rihanna Serene, Twi'lek. I normally know how to pronounce that, but today I'm not with it with words. But yeah, so she's a bounty hunter sort of thing, but she's helping out the Rebel Alliance, and a certain person from the Jedi Knight games happens to be in this as well. I haven't played it fully through to see what happens with him, but he's the guy giving you the mission. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who that is. Yeah, so it's nice that. So I haven't actually played through it all, even on the PSP. I've had it for a while, so I probably would play the PSP version over this one, but again, it was cheap, nice to own. And Star Wars games are getting kind of like wrestling games for me, where I just kind of own a ton, so it's like, I might as well try and collect as many as possible. Now I have an American DS game, because obviously the DS is region free, so that's awesome. I've been wanting this for a while, and that is Dragon Ball Origins. Really good game. There were two of them, Dragon Ball Origins 1 and 2 obviously. I did play them before on my R4 card, finally got around to buy the first one. I'm going to pick up the second at some point, and it's a really cool touchscreen control. I think there was also a Sonic game on the DS that controlled sort of the same, where you move the stylus around, hold it where you want to go, and you swipe to run and attack things, and you obviously can do Kamehameha waves and things like that. I played through both back in the day, really enjoyed them. So yeah, finally picked it up. It was nice and cheap, because it was of course the American version. It's not that expensive in the UK, but the American version was cheaper, so yeah, I'm always going to go for the cheaper one. And this one offers a complete in box as well, so that's always nice. And next, I'm going to throw in a personal Holy Grail pickup. Yeah, I've been after this game for a long time. I almost got it at the retro gaming market earlier this year. If any of you watched my old videos, you may remember from that pickups video with the retro gaming market that I thought I'd bought this. I saw it when I was going round at a certain price. It's like, I'm not bothered. And then as it was coming out, it's like, you know what, sod it, I'm going to get it for that price before it goes up in price. So I went looking for the stall and found it on another one for cheaper, £35. I thought, yes, I'm having it. Handed over the money, put it in my bag, came home, was showing my mum what I bought, looked at it and thought, crap, wrong one. I bought Dragon Quest 4 by mistake. And what I was after was Dragon Quest 5. So I thought, okay, I'll buy it on Sex. It was, I think, £48. I thought, sod it, I'm just going to have to go for it. Went up to 60. Flabberdob. Yeah. So it's like, okay, not going to buy it at that price. So I've been looking around for ages. Every so often I'll go on different websites, see if it's on eBay. Very, very hard to come by. Seems that not many people want to part with it. It's not rare in the sense that there's hardly any there. It's just sought after, that loads of people want it and aren't willing to part with it for a good price. Amazon seller was selling it for $39.99. Thought, sod it, giving it for that price. Added it to basket, went to checkout. This item is no longer available. Crap. I thought someone must have, I don't know, got in just before me and bought it. I was like, no, that's it, I'm not going to get this now. And then I realised, wait a minute, I use Top Cashback. Great website, by the way. Hashtag not a sponsor. Should be a sponsor. Please sponsor me. Top Cashback, basically, you sign up and then you search, and if the website you're wanting comes up, you get cashback through that. You only get like 1 or 2% usually, but it all adds up. And I had £40 sitting there waiting to be paid out. So I thought, I'll get an Amazon voucher, pay it out, and I'll buy it brand new, because it was £70 on Amazon brand new, still sealed. So I got the £40 Amazon voucher, used that, only ended up paying £30 for this brand new and sealed. It is the US version, but still lovely and cheap, so I got this brand new, still sealed. Dragon Quest 5, Hand of the Heavenly Bride. Yeah. So all nice, brand new, sealed, completed box. Obviously, finally got it to the collection. So happy. And yes, I have indeed already played through it. I was actually disappointed it only took me 33 hours. I was expecting it to be more like Dragon Quest 6, which took 60 hours. That was my first game. Dragon Quest 4, also on the DS, that took about 25 hours, I think, but that was originally a NES game. Dragon Quest 5, Dragon Quest 6 were on the Super Nintendo, so I was thinking, oh, this is going to be longer. Nope, only 33 hours, but there was no filler, no anything we thought, this is dragging on a bit. It all just went through really fast, really good. Fantastic game. Really, really good. This is often hailed as one of the best Dragon Quest games, usually mentioned in the same sentence as 3 and 8 with a lot of people. 8 is the only one I've yet to play through at the moment, so yeah, very, very happy with this, and it is fantastic. And I think I prefer this to Dragon Quest 6, which used to be my favourite just because it was my first and it is a fantastic game, but I prefer this one to it. It doesn't mean it's the best one though, we'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, I'm very happy. This is a holy grail pickup for me personally. And I was able to get it for £30 brand new and sealed, basically, because that £40 Amazon voucher was basically free. That was cash back from stuff I was already buying. Next then, an Xbox game, original Xbox. I'd known about this game for a while, but I didn't know one particular thing about it. And this is Mad Dash Racing. And basically think Sonic R, but doesn't control bad. So you got a bunch of animal, human-y style characters, whatever the term is, I can't remember. Anthropomorphic. That word, you know what I mean, shut up. Yeah, basically those animal-y style characters, and instead of racing in carts or cars, they run. Sonic R, of course, tried that on the Saturn? Was it the Saturn or the Sega CD? I think it was the Saturn. And it did terrible. It was just controlled really badly. It was just badly done. Yeah, whatever. This one actually controls pretty well, but it seemed dull playing it because I don't know if there's something with the audio, if I have to go into the settings, but I couldn't hear any music or sound effects, barely at all. I was just sort of running in silence during a race. But why did I pick this up? Well, it's made by Crystal Dynamics, who also made the Gex games. And I'm a big fan of Gex 3D Enter the Gecko in particular. And Gex is an unlockable character in this. Yes, you can play as Gex. He's in an Xbox game. So come on, more Gex games please. Yeah, so I was very happy to pick that up to hopefully one day go through and unlock Gex and just be able to play Gex on an Xbox. A Gexbox. Get it? I promise I'll never do that again. Okay, moving on now. Some limited run games. I'll get the first one out. And the first is Star Wars Bounty Hunter. This, of course, originally came out the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and original Xbox. And you play as Jango Fett. And basically, he's doing a mission for Dooku to clean up one of Dooku's messes about a Dark Jedi who Dooku didn't kill for whatever reason, and also he's being tested to see if he will be the perfect specimen for the clones. So yeah, that's really cool. It's got nice mechanic where you scan people, see if they've got a bounty on them, and then you can capture them. You can also kill them as well, I think, but you get more points and money or whatever if you capture them. You've got a bunch of different gadgets as well as weapons and things. So very interesting. And of course, yeah, that's a limited run, so they got the exclusive limited run number. Also comes with exclusive shiny card there from limited run with the actual number of which one it is. So I think I've got number 492 out of however many were made. And this is my first time ordering from limited run. I got it with postage. It cost me £35 I think, which is about average for a brand new game release anyway. And yeah, I just thought Star Wars, that's cool. They are releasing a lot of older Star Wars games, but they're re-releasing them on the original formats for extraordinarily expensive prices, like the original Star Wars game on NES. And that was I think the same price as this, so that would have been £35 with postage. You can buy the original NES cart for like £5. And this is literally just an expensive repro. Yeah, so at least with these ones they're releasing them on a newer console on a disc, so that's nice to play. And of course the other one that they did that I wanted to pick up was Psychonauts. I believe Limited Run are also going to be producing Psychonauts 2 physical release, so I'll pick that up at one point as well. I don't think that's going to be a limited run release, but they're just distributing it or whatever, so everyone will be able to get it. There's not going to be a limited number of those. I thought, hey, you can get the original as well. I don't actually own it on console. I was surprised. I could have sworn I owned this on the original Xbox, and I think I'm just getting confused with one time I was at my uncle's house playing on his Xbox and he had it. But yeah, I do own the Psychonauts on the PC. I think I've got it on GOG rather than Steam. Yes, I have played through quite a lot of the game. It's really, really fun. You obviously go into people's minds and try and help them out. It's really fun, really unique game. Very much looking forward to the sequel. Yeah, so I thought, yeah, I'll pick up the limited run of this as well. And obviously there's card number 508, mine, nice and shiny. Limited run. Yeah, so I was very happy with the limited run as well. Delivery wise, this took 2 weeks to come, so not too bad from America, especially for the price and everything, £35 all in. This one took about 8 days. This was really quick. When this came, I was not expecting it. This came the same day as Mad Dash Racing, and I went downstairs and was like, oh, you got 2 parcels, like 2? I'm only expecting 1 item at the minute, and then as soon as I saw what the packaging looked like, it's like, oh cool, limited run game's already arrived. So that was cool. So if anyone's having thoughts about limited run outside of America or the UK where I am, yeah, it's very good for ordering, very easy. There's been no customs charges or anything like that, and yeah, like I said, the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game came in 2 weeks and 8 days for Psychonauts, so that was nice and quick. I was happy with that. Okay, so moving on now to a proper retro game, and we have Tiny Toon Adventures for the NES. order this. The box is, it's pretty tattered. It's not in the best condition at all, but it did come in this nice plastic case. There's no manual inside, so it's just cart only, basically inside the battered box. But it was just as cheap to buy it in the box like this as it was to just buy the cartridge. So I thought, yeah, why not? Tiny Toon Adventures, a lot of the old Tiny Toon games on the old systems are really fun, and this one is no different. It's a fun 3D platformer. I think you've got different characters, choose between, all have different abilities and things like that. Yeah, so I'm always out for old, 8-bit, 16-bit platformers, very cool. So yeah, I'm very happy to have picked that up. Now we got a bunch of PSP games. So firstly, we have the Capcom Classic Collections, Reloaded and Remixed. There are 2 here, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 19 games on there. I just counted out and it actually tells you on the back. 19 games on there, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 19 games as well on here, I believe. Obviously, we got a collection on consoles. I don't know if everything from both of these was on those, or if these have got some extras. Not entirely sure, but yeah, classic Capcom games. Mostly the actual arcade releases. You got the 1940 series. You got 1941, 42, 43, 43 Kai, whatever that is. You got Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. So you have the arcade one and the SNES version. The arcade one allows you to shoot up, so that's fun. You've got things like King of Dragons, Knights of the Round, cool beat-em-up games, also released recently on the Capcom beat-em-up bundle. You've got 3 versions of Street Fighter 2. You've got Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting. You've got games like Commando, Gunsmoke, Mercs, Bionic Commando, Black Tiger, Captain Commando, Final Fight. A lot of games on this second one I haven't really heard of. Sidearms, Last Duel, Legendary Wings, Section Z, 3 Wonders, there's the arcade version of Strider, and the original Street Fighter, if for some reason you want to play that. Yeah, so I've got those, nice and cheap. Screw you, Aussie man. Yeah, my Australian friend is very jealous of these. Screw you. Yeah, just because they're a bit more difficult to get in Australia for him and a lot more pricey. So, yeah. And they weren't even on my radar until he mentioned them. I looked them up and thought, sorry, I'll buy them! Sorry, I didn't mean that. Yes, I did. Then I picked up some more PSP games. I got Ridge Racer. Remember that one? Yeah. Sorry. For people who get that, you get that. If you don't, you don't. Ridge Racer, like I said, on the PlayStation Classic, Ridge Racer Type 4 was on there, and I had a lot of fun with that. I was very surprised by just how fun it was. So I saw this for cheap on the PSP. It's Ridge Racer on a PSP, and it's just as fun. And I was doing a lot better with the drifting mechanics and things like that. So yeah, a fun racing game to have on there. Another game now that I was actually surprised was on the PSP. Didn't know it was on there. Spider-Man 2. Yeah, based on obviously the film game, one of the better movie-based games that ever came out. I hate the film, but that's a whole other video for a whole other time. Yeah, so Spider-Man 2, you get to web swing and do the story mode and things. I think some stuff is possibly cut out of this, obviously, to fit down onto portable, but it's still in full 3D and plays really fun. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 on the PSP. And another game that wasn't on my radar until my Australian friend mentioned it to me. It's getting pretty rare because I don't think a lot of people know about it, so there's not that many copies out there, and it's increasing in price. It's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, and it's all claymation, and it is called Platypus, of all things. I don't know why, but yeah, you got a spaceship, you're shooting. It's kind of basic, unfortunately, but it's got a really cool art style with the claymation stuff. Looks really fun. Yeah, it's just a fun side-scrolling shooter, so that was nice to own. And just want to mention a digital game that I bought, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. Got that on the Switch. It's also available on the PS4, Xbox One as well. I would assume so, but yeah, there it is. I'm a big fan of that game, and especially Jedi Academy, which is coming out next year, so yay for that. Always liked that one, especially over this one. This one gets a bit dull to begin with because you don't have Jedi powers, you're just shooting, and it's kind of dull. Once you get into it and you start getting the Jedi powers back and you get your lightsaber, then it really picks up. But yeah, fun game. I bought it on the Switch because I love portable. Just remember, if you do buy it, increase the brightness because it's far too low, so you can't see anything in the dark, which is really bad just for the first level. And also switch the aspect ratio from 6:9 to 4:3 because they just seem to stretch it out and it looks terrible like that. So change those settings and you should be good to go. And the sensitivity as well for the aiming, mess with that a little bit because it can be a bit too loose when you first start, but like I said, once you get into it, it's a really fun game, although I did die in the stupidest of ways while I recorded footage, which I will no doubt have on screen right now. And lastly, this was my game of the year for last year on the PS4. Got a Switch release a couple of days ago from when I'm recording this video, of course. Another Dragon Quest game, Dragon Quest XI. The full title, Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. Or Dragon Quest XI's, I think. Yeah, Dragon Quest XI's, Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. So Dragon Quest XI, massive JRPG series in Japan. It's thankfully been getting bigger over here over the last few years, which is great. So yeah, getting all those titles. Loved this on the PS4, now I've got it on the Switch. I'm currently 30 hours into it nearly, and no, so I think I'm just about 20 hours into it, and I reckon I've maybe only got another 10 or 15 hours to go, which is insane because the PS4 version took me 80 hours. Why is it taking so short? That doesn't make any sense. Why is it being so short on this version? Because I'm playing it in 2D. Yes, you get to play it in 2D. You can switch to 3D, of course, and play it in all its glory on the Switch. Looks and plays great like that, but I've already played it like that, so I'm going to play it in 2D, and it is wonderful. But it also speeds a lot of things up. Just travelling from place to place is much faster. Items, hidden items, that it's much easier to find things, I've found, and much easier to navigate as well in 2D than it is in the 3D versions. Battles go a lot quicker as well. It just looks and sounds fantastic. You've still, of course, got the orchestral soundtrack for this that wasn't in the PS4 version in the UK and the America. It was only in Japan for some reason, but they brought it over here, hence Definitive Edition. And there's also some extra modes in this. There's a bit where you go back in time to a location in all of the previous Dragon Quest games to try and fix something that some evil's doing. That is really, really, really cool. So I'm having a ton of fun playing through this again, obviously in 2D mode. So those are my recent video game pickups. Thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you think of my pickups. Let me know what you've got recently, and let me know if there's anything I should look out to pick up for. So I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.